Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the June Keys Penguin Habitat. My name is Michelle. I'm joined today with Dana, and we're going to be feeding our 20 Magellanic penguins that we have here. Now, we just have given them a good portion of their nighttime feed, and the reason why we don't do this on microphone is because what we're doing is actually tallying all the food that each of the animals is getting. So every time Dana was giving a piece of fish to one of the animals, she's telling me the name of the animal as well as how much they're eating, and it makes for not a great speech coming from the microphone. So what we do is we get most of them fed and kind of get back on mic afterwards, and then if we have some stragglers come up for food, that's all well and good. Now, probably the question that's often asked of us is, why isn't there any snow? How can these penguins be here? Well, these are temperate penguins, and what that simply means is that they like this weather just like you and I do. Right off the coast of South America, there is a nice cool patch of cold water, and so we mimic our exhibit right just like that. So our water temperature in here is around 55, 60. Air temp can get anywhere from the low 40s to the upper, well, last week it was in the hundreds. But there are certain things that we try to do to allow our penguins to be nice and comfortable. We have mister systems set up. Like I said, we have the nice cold water. There is a back area that's a little bit cooler if they need be. And they also have all their penguin condos. So if you look at the exhibit and you see these little tubes, all those tubes go back into what we call their penguin condos, and it's actually a lot cooler in our back area. So occasionally you'll see the penguins go back there and actually spend time back there. Now, if you're looking at some of our penguins, you'll know that they're not looking as sleek as they once did before. And that's because we're getting ready to go into our molt. Now, each penguin is a little bit different. They molt at different times. Our youngest penguin, Gats, he's the one that's over in the far corner over to the left. You can tell he looks a little bit different, and that's because he is a juvenile. He doesn't have that distinctive double black band that all the other penguins do, and so this is going to be his first molt. Now, when a penguin molts, it's a lot different than when a normal bird molts. A normal bird will molt 1 or 2 feathers every day or so. Penguins actually do something called a catastrophic molt. So what happens is penguins eat a whole bunch, they swell up, and all of a sudden, within a 2-day period, 2 to 3 days, they will lose all their outer feathers. That's why when you look at our penguins, you can see some of a little crusty. They're losing a lot of the feathers around the eyes. Their feathers in the back are looking a little not as smooth. What we call crusty feathers. And the coloration is a little bit different. Where they're normally beautiful black back, they actually look really brownish in color. And that's letting us know that they're going to be getting ready to molt. Now, another thing that tells us that they're getting ready to molt is the amount of food that they consume. A normal penguin during a normal day will eat anywhere from about 4 to 5 herring, about 15 to 20, 25 capelin. And the days prior to molt, they are bulking up their body. So Gats last week was eating anywhere from 7 to 10 herring every day. And when you look at the size of a herring, you can you hold up a herring? 7 to 10 of those. He's only weighing in about 5 kilos, so where they put it, I have no idea. But what happens is they swell up, it looks really uncomfortable, and then they lose all those outer feathers. You can see Admiral's right here. You can see his back, how he's starting to have these kind of feathers breaking through, and he's just a little crusty, huh, buddy? What's nice is that we actually have a good relationship with all of our birds, and they'll allow us to help groom them if they so desire it. They'll come up and kind of rub on us and ask us to help them out. But this is going to be happening for the next month or so. Now, if you have been here at the aquarium or have been online and watched our cameras, we actually have 2 cameras. We have one right up there. It also goes to explore.org, and we have a nursery cam that we utilize. And we have 3 chicks. They just went through, and they have all their pretty new feathers, so they're gorgeous. But you can go on explore.org and actually see their see them, they're almost the exact same size as their counterparts. The largest one is purple, and purple's weighing in at about 4.1 kilograms. And if you're wondering how much that actually is, multiply that by 2.2, and that will give you how many pounds each penguin is. Pardon me while I make my notation. Now, like I was saying, our records are done every day. We keep track of how much they're eating, what medicines they have received. Penguins, because we do feed them restaurant quality food, but it is frozen, so it does lose some of the nutrients. So every day these penguins get vitamins. Just like if you take a multivitamin, they get a multivitamin. The penguins also get medications through their fish if they need it. And it's an easy way because they swallow their food whole. We can also give them different types of toys. Penguins aren't very big into ice or anything like that, but they do sometimes like the toys, especially younger penguins. Or they'll like braids on our hair. They like shoelaces. They're very interesting when it comes to things like that. Now, one thing that we do have on our penguins is, if you notice, they have bracelets. Now, each penguin has its own distinct bracelet. It's almost like a social security number. Each number is indicative just for that penguin. And when you look at our colony, we are actually a subset of the greater North American colony. And so each number they have, if they were to go to another facility, which we often do, we trade penguins so we keep the genetics nice and wide. We don't want a bottleneck on our Magellanic penguins. But each number is indicative of that specific penguin. And if we move them to a different facility, that number goes with them. And it is a great way that we can keep track of how many penguins are in North America and who's doing what. We keep track of breeding. We look at age. We look at number of offspring, who should be breeding with who. All those different things is something that we look at very closely. Well, at this point, we're going to go ahead and sign off. It looks like the penguins are all done eating. I would like to say thank you all for coming to the aquarium, because your admission does help us take care of all of our animals. So for myself, Dana, and all the penguins, we hope you enjoy your day here at the Aquarium of the Pacific, and we hope to see you again real soon.